Dear viewers, 12 men who spent nearly 2 decades in jail for one of India's deadliest terror attacks have now been acquitted. On July 21st, 2025, that is today, the Bombay High Court overturned all convictions in the 2006 Mumbai train blast case, saying the prosecution failed to prove its case. Hello, I am Tejas and you are watching Lokmat Times. In this video, we are going to take a detailed look at what happened, who these men are, and why the court has taken this decision after 19 years. But before that, please do subscribe to our channel if you haven't already and press the bell icon to never miss an update. On the evening of July 11, 2006, 7 bombs exploded within 11 minutes on Mumbai's suburban trains during peak hours. The bombs were placed inside pressure cookers in first-class compartments, exploding as trains sped between stations from Matunga Road to Mira Road. The attacks killed 189 people and injured over 800. It was one of the worst terror attacks the city had seen since the 1993 bombings. In the weeks following the blasts, investigators alleged that Pakistan-based Lashkar-e-Taiba was behind the attacks with logistical help from banned Indian groups like Simi. The Pakistani government denied these claims. Over 350 people were detained during the initial investigation. Formal charges were filed under stringent anti-terror laws, including the Maharashtra Control of Organised Crime Act or MACOCA. The trial itself was long and complex, stretching nearly a decade. In 2015, a special court convicted 12 men. 5 were sentenced to death and 7 were given life imprisonment for charges including murder, conspiracy and waging war against the nation. Those sentenced to death included Mohammad Faisal Ataur Rahman Sheikh, Ehtesham Kutubuddin Siddiqui, Naveed Hussain Khan, Asif Khan and Kamal Ansari, who later died in custody in 2021 due to COVID-19. The others, including Tanveer Ahmed Ansari, Mohammad Mazid Shafi and others, were given life terms. So why, after 19 years, has the Bombay High Court acquitted all the accused? The High Court examined the evidence, witness testimonies, confessions and procedural records presented during the trial. First, witness testimonies. The court found many witnesses could not reliably identify the accused. Identification parades were conducted years after the attacks, and in some cases, witnesses who initially made no statements came forward much later with sudden identifications. The court noted these circumstances were abnormal. Second, confessional statements. The prosecution's case heavily relied on confessions made by the accused while in police custody. The court ruled that these confessions were inadmissible, observing evidence suggesting they were made under duress or torture. Third, forensic evidence. The prosecution had claimed recovery of explosives, pressure cookers and maps from the accused. However, the court found that the type of bomb used in this blast was never conclusively established and the recovered items could not definitely link to the attacks. Fourth, procedural lapses. The court criticized the investigation for not maintaining proper chains of custody for evidence and for failing to address gaps in witness statements and procedural delays during the probe. In its final observation, the High Court stated, the prosecution has utterly failed to prove the case against the accused. As a result, all convictions have been quashed and the court has ordered the release of the accused unless they are wanted in other cases. The acquittal has triggered mixed reactions. Families of the blast victims have expressed shock and disappointment, saying they have been denied justice after nearly 2 decades of waiting. Meanwhile, human rights groups have pointed out the dangers of relying on the confessions obtained under questionable circumstances and the need for meticulous lawful investigation, especially in terror cases. The 2006 Mumbai train blast case was one of the most high-profile terror cases in India's history, and this acquittal marks a significant development in the country's legal landscape. It also raises questions about investigative practices, the treatment of suspects, and the systems in place to ensure justice for victims while safeguarding the rights of the accused. This is a developing story and it remains to be seen if the state will file an appeal in the Supreme Court or if there will be further legal steps in the coming months. For now, all 12 men who were once convicted of carrying out one of India's deadliest attacks are walking free after 19 years. That's all for now. Stay tuned to Lokmat Times for further updates on this case. Thank you.